Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at the subreddit r/idontworkherelady, where people tell us their craziest stories on when they got mistaken for being an employee at somewhere they didn't work. If you're new around here, please do hit subscribe down below so that you never miss out on another video. But for now, let's sit back, relax and enjoy some Reddit stories. Why does everybody at the Adidas outlet think I work at the Adidas outlet? For work, in the spring and summertime, I wear a polo and whatever pants I feel like, typically chinos or cotton, 5-pocket trousers that resemble jeans. I wear sneakers, and I like to wear Adidas because they're what I find to be comfortable, but only toned down shoes that look less sporty since they're for work. 2 or 3 days a week, I travel from Pittsburgh to Morgantown or Wheeling, West Virginia, about an hour trip one way. Along the way, there's an outlet mall, and I'll stop by for 20 minutes or half an hour just to see what they have on sale. And apparently, everybody shopping at the Adidas store thinks I work there. Everybody. In their defense, I wear headphones while I stop into stores. And I do wear Adidas shoes, but I look nothing like the people working there, and the shoes I wear for work do not have a visible logo or 3 stripes on them. For comparison, imagine a guy with grey headphones in both ears, a pastel or vibrant red or blue polo with a Brooks Brother golden fleece on. Feel free to Google that, I'll show a picture on screen. Khakis and plain navy blue canvas shoes. Now, imagine 4 people in black and white wearing Adidas lanyards with name badges, a black 2-way radio on their hip with a single earpiece, Adidas t-shirts and only Adidas t-shirts, never a golf polo, never anything with a collar, sometimes track jackets and typically black jeans or track pants. All of these articles of clothing have giant trefoils or 3 stripes on them, and the word Adidas plastered all over them. They look a lot like my middle school and high school gym coaches, but only ever in black, white and grey. I'm not exaggerating when I say nearly every time I go in there, a suburban mum, dad or teen asks me if I have a certain size in something. They walk up to me, staring down at a box of shoes they are holding up, and go, can I see if you have this? And I always cut them off with a stern, robotic, "I don't work here." It's bizarre. It only happens at the Adidas store, and it always happens at the Adidas store. If there are other customers shopping, they will ask me for something. The craziest time this happened was around the 4th of July sale they had, which lasted all week long. I stopped in on Monday or Tuesday coming back to Pittsburgh. It was only going to be a 3-day work week for me because of the holiday, so I figured I'd kill a minute and see if they had anything good. It was really busy. I walked in to look at the styles and was immediately approached by a mum asking for something. I interrupted and said, "I don't work here." She walked away. I go to the shoes, and within another minute, another mum starts asking me for a size, and I tell her, "I don't work here." I have a few moments of peace browsing, and a teenager comes up to me and starts stammering through his request for a different size in the shoes he was holding. I tell him I don't work here. He says sorry and walks away. I'm about to leave when I tell one of the employees about my dilemma at his store, and that it just happened 3 times. He agrees that this is strange, but he doesn't seem too invested in the conversation because, obviously, why would he care? We chat about a certain style I like, and he offers to check in the back for me before I go. As soon as he steps away from me, from about a quarter of the way across the store, a woman scanning the room locks eyes with me, and with a single finger, in a Hulk Hogan-like fashion, points directly at me enthusiastically, and begins to shout, "I need," and I shout, "No, I don't work here." I didn't even have headphones in this time. She just looked away and continued to scan. The employee, who completely missed that interaction, returned to tell me he didn't have the shoes. And I tell him, it totally just happened again. I gotta get out of here. Thanks for checking. And the end of this story is that this still continues to happen about once every 2 weeks. Every time I stop at the outlets on my way home, every time I go to the Adidas store, someone thinks I work there, despite not having any of the markings of an employee. People there look trendy and leisurely, and I am dressed like I'm going to set up your printer at your cubicle. I will sometimes stop at the Brooks Brothers outlet in Brooks Brothers clothes, with the Brooks Brother logo on my chest, and people there will not confuse me for an employee. Okay, so I've got 2 theories here that might be plausible. Number 1 is his hairdresser really doesn't like him, and he's told the story to the hairdresser once, and so from now on, all he does is plaster the Adidas logo into the back of his head when he's shaving his head. And theory number 2 is he actually does work there and he's really confused. If you've ever seen Fight Club, he's got that kind of thing. I'm just helping my parents. I was on my summer break and my family and I had decided to go to our local garden centre. In case you didn't know what that is, it's a shop which sells outdoor and nature products. I was wearing jeans and a scruffy t-shirt. I assume we weren't going to be there for long. My parents had gone to the plant section and I was by myself and had the trolley which had a fire pit in. I was looking around and trying a few chairs, when a woman came up to me and told me that I shouldn't be using the chairs. I normally don't like confrontations, so I just apologized and began to walk off. She shouted after me and said how rude it was for me to walk away from her. I was very confused by this point, so I just stand there. She then told me to go and find out if there were any deals on a table that's nearby. I said no, why should I? And she looks appalled and says for me to go get my manager. I hadn't realized until this point that she thought I worked here. I calmly explained to her that I didn't work there and she immediately looks apologetic. She says sorry for bothering me. She thought that because I was using a trolley, I worked there? I say it's fine and walk away, even though I'm still a little bit annoyed. I go to meet up with my family and explain to them what had happened, but I don't see the woman again. So, all people that use a trolley work in a store. Like, what kind of logic is that? I hope to God this woman never goes to a supermarket. One of my few nice stories about my retail days. So, not sure if this belongs here, but it is honestly one of my favourite stories to tell. A few years back, I worked in a large retail chain. I won't name it for obvious reasons, but the main thing you need to know is I am a young female, and I wore a standard all-black uniform, pants and jumper. Our story takes place during my lunch break, where I was wearing the all-black uniform, on my break in another shop. I was browsing in a clothes shop, getting ready to head back to work, as I did pretty regularly, when I hear just about the cutest voice speak up to me. Hi, excuse me? Hi. I looked down, trying not to laugh because it was such an adorable voice, and then I see 2 cute little girls look back at me, both under the age of 7 if I had to guess. So I say, "Hi, are you okay?" And the older girl replies to me, "No, we are lost." So me being 19 at the time, and never dealing with something like this before, think, oh god, what do I do? Then I realize that they think I work here, which is weird because the staff in this shop don't wear a uniform, but a 5-year-old didn't notice, I guess. So I realize they want me to call their mum over the intercom. I ask who they came with, and they say their cousin. The younger girl then says some things, but all I can remember now is she stated her cousin was not an adult, she's only a teenager. which made me feel even worse for the poor cousin who was probably frantically looking for these two little cuties. I then quickly tried to explain to them they did the right thing by coming up to me and not leaving the shop, and that it would be okay, not to worry, etc, etc. I tell them I don't work there and their little faces are blank, but I tell them I'll stay with them until we find someone to help. Then I am rushing to find someone who actually worked there, and was now 5 minutes late to go back to work. Once I did explain what happened, and the staff member was freaked out, but said she would look after it. Unfortunately, I had to leave pretty quickly, but I said my goodbyes to the girls and left them with staff. I came back later in the day, and was told that they were okay, that their cousin was found within a few minutes, and everyone and everything was fine. That cousin must have been freaking out so much in those few minutes when they were separated, because I would be so scared if I was like a 16-year-old who was put in charge of a 5 and 7-year-old and I lost them. I don't work for the church, I just live there. A little background. A month ago, I moved in a new apartment that is rented by the church. Because of this, everyone assumes that I work for them. At nearly the same time as I moved in, a new pastoral speaker had started his job at our parish community. So I often get confused with him. I am an optician, as you can tell by the name, you/optician nerd. Most of the time, if someone mistakes me for a pastoral speaker, I just say, "Sorry, I don't work here, I just live here," and they apologize. The house I live in contains my apartment and the parish office. It has a small yard in the front and a bigger one in the back. We have a guy who takes care of the front yard. Sometimes he tries to have a look after the backyard too, but mainly he doesn't have the time for it. I love work with plants. My father is a gardener and I learned a lot from him. So I started to clean up the backyard, but I didn't want to destroy anything that the other guy placed there on purpose. To the story. This week I finally managed to speak to him. Every Tuesday I have my day off. I had my windows open, so I heard someone was down into the backyard. I had a look and recognized it was the gardener. So I went down there and we had a talk. It went really well. I told him what I was planning to do in there, and apparently I can do whatever I want there. Yeah, after a while he told me that he had business elsewhere and had to finish his work here, so we went inside. I went into my apartment and he went into the door next to it. I just went through my door and he called me back and asked where I'm going, that he had really no time and really needed help. He told me that the lady at the front desk had told him that I would help him. I was a bit confused by this. Why would she tell that without asking me first? But I was free and glad I could help. He showed me some furniture that had to be brought down. I helped him. As we brought the first piece down, the new pastoral speaker saw us and told me that he would be with us in a minute. That's when I realized the gardener had me mistaken for the new pastoral speaker. But there were only 2 more pieces of furniture, so I finished it. After everything was brought down, I told the gardener that I will tell the pastoral speaker that we are already finished with the work, so the gardener could get to his next appointment. That was when he realized his mistake. He apologized and we had a laugh about it. Guys, what's up today? There's so many wholesome stories, I don't know what to do. I guess in the end he made a friend out of it, didn't he? Guess I shouldn't have worn a blue polo then. At my job, we're required to wear a polo with the place's logo and name, but they are very prominent. Yesterday after work, I stopped to get gas at a gas station, where their shirts happen to be the same colour blue, but our t-shirts and the station's name are emblazoned across the entire front of the shirt, and they all have name tags and headsets, as is a gas station / quick food service combo type of thing. I decided to get a drink after I filled my tank, But while I was checking out, I was mistaken for one of the gas station employees. The cast: me, ABW, Angry Bathroom Woman, and GSE gas station employee. I'm standing at the register buying my soda when the Angry Bathroom Woman storms up and turns right to me. "Why is the restroom locked? I knocked and no one is in there." I don't answer because I assume she's speaking to the employee behind the counter and continue getting money out of my wallet. The Angry Bathroom Woman clears her throat and raises her voice. "Miss, why is the bathroom locked?" This is when I look up and realize she's completely ignoring the attendant behind the counter and is facing me. Gas stations often lock their bathroom just to be safe. "Well, give me the key." Me coming to the wrong conclusion. I didn't use the restroom, so I'm sorry, but I don't have the key." The Angry Bathroom Woman sighs angrily. "Well then, go get the key so I can use the bathroom." Me finally clicking. "Oh, I'm so sorry, but I don't work here." I point to the attendant literally 4 feet away behind the register. I'm sure she'd be happy to help you though. "That's ridiculous. You're her manager. Just go get the key. Is this how you treat all your customers?" The gas station employee finally chimes in and says, "Ma'am, she doesn't work here. I have the key right here," and hands the Angry Bathroom Woman the key. She then huffs, "Well, was that so difficult?" and storms off to the bathroom. The employee and I both laughed once she'd stormed off and chatted for a minute. We figured since our shirts were the same blue, that she must have just assumed mine was the fancier version, and that made me the manager. The best part was the employee she had ignored actually was the manager. So there you have it. Not anything too dramatic, but it amused me. I love how she goes, "Oh, was that so difficult?" Like, woman, you just made it difficult. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now, or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like. And if you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so by joining the Discord in the top link in the description. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.